Hey YouTube. Oh, how you doing this week? It's a Monday here, bit overcast, bit grey. So, honestly, this isn't a story I really wanted to tell, but I think it's one I have to tell because part of why I do this ramble is because I want you to see the messy middle, and I want you to see what it looks like when you made a decision and a commitment, and you're going to keep turning up for your business, your clients, even though your life is falling apart. So let me say it, and I want you to really understand this is a message about your business, first and foremost. So, my little dog, Mia, she's the last of our dogs, actually. She's 13. She is pretty deaf and she was starting to go blind. She had cataracts. On Wednesday, she unfortunately vanished. And I leave the door open every day when I go down to do the horses. I feed them in the mornings and feed them at night and then ride in the arvos. And so I left the door open and we think she followed me down to the stables. And unfortunately, it had rained for 24 hours solid the day before. So our stream was very, very full and very, very strong current. My partner, who was down in Wellington at the time, came back and he's convinced she fell into the stream because she was following me, and that's where she was. So he's waded up and down that thing 3 or 4 times. We have searched every part of our farm. It's 10 acres. Our neighbours left done everything that we could. Um, but she's vanished without a trace. She's only 4.5 kilos, so it's very hard to find her. But that said, here's really my message, right? For those of you who've been listening along with this ramble recently, you will know that about 12 weeks ago, I decided that I was actually going to build my business. It's the first time. I've been trying to do this for 5 years. I've always made money in it. I've always had clients, but I actually want to achieve a really strong goal. But here's truthfully what would have happened had I not made that decision. I would have used this as a reason not to show up. I would have used this as a reason to stop. I would have just said it's just too hard. And honestly, my brain would have taken over because you can imagine all the catastrophizing that my brain is offering about where Mia is. And I would have just not been able to increase my capability to deal with that on the one side, but also understand that my business is as important. It's really who I am, if that makes sense. Because I like to call myself the coach's coach, and one thing that I do is help you all build businesses that you can sustain, they're profitable, that give you the freedom, everything that you want, everything you dreamed about, all that desire, and I help you get out of your own way to do it. So if I stay stuck in my way, then how am I going to lead you to do that, right? So this is why I'm not hiding. This is why I'm sharing this with you, because it's really important for us to all understand that life is 50-50. We're going to get the good and the bad. And when we make these decisions to build our businesses, and I think everybody who follows me, you all are building your business first and foremost because of your desire to help people. The money comes as a result of that. And if I don't show you that, yeah, life can be freaking awful, but we can still overcome, we can still show up, we can still do the work, we don't need to help hide, then I think that's the best message I can share with you. So how have I got into this point today? Because I'm freaking angry now. In grief, we all know there's 7 cycles. I'm at the anger one. I'm very angry at myself. I'm very, I have a saying about Larry the lizard. He's very much yelling at me right now. And if I let him rule me, I'm disappearing. And so I had to go and use my tools inside the club that I teach, my think framework specifically. And I had to go back into my brain and I had to go and get all those unconscious thoughts, all of those thoughts that are wanting to pile up and manage them, because we shouldn't hide. Life is messy. We are leaders. We have to show our people, our audiences, the pathway, because we are the product. We are the example, right? And so this is why I'm doing this. Um, and I'm not going to cry because that's all I've done. And I'm not going to let it rule me either, because what can I do about it? I can't change anything in the past. And I do want this better future. So all I can focus on is right now. So here I am doing this. And so it means we can keep working, right? We can still grieve. We can still feel all of the things. We can still acknowledge that life is not fair, but we can also show up. We can also manage the way that we think. We can also put Larry the lizard back in the back of the bus for just the time we need to focus on what we said we're going to be doing. And so, because my dog's name, I think I've mentioned it already, is Mia, and isn't that ironic? MIA, missing in action. What I don't think I've shared publicly is on March 6th, I put one of my horses down. He was very much struggling, and the vet basically said it's his time. So he's buried on the property. We don't, it's hard to cremate them. We normally cremate our little pets. So I'm going to add Mia's name to Chad's cross. And then, because she's somewhere on the land, right? She has to be. And that way, I have somewhere to grieve them both and remember them both. So, whew, net, what I want you all to understand is life. And all that matters is what we decide to do and how we show up. And um, yeah, the next step. So I'm feeling the feelings. Don't think I'm not feeling the feelings. I'm processing the emotion. I'm sitting in the grief, but equally, I want to be there for my clients and I want to be there and I want to build my club and I want those 50 members in there and that's part of it. And whew, yeah. So net, we can show up. We can still function. Life will always be 50-50. We get to decide. And the reality is sometimes we need the tools, and this is why I'm so grateful I have those tools and that this is predominantly what I teach inside my club. And on the as much as I'm grieving, this is also proof positive to me that those tools work. Because like I said, 12 weeks ago, I would have abandoned ship. You wouldn't have heard from me. That's I would have been gone for another few years, and that's very evident in my YouTube, because you can see I did some of these YouTube videos 2 years ago, I think, and then I've come back with the rambles. But this is me saying I'm making different decisions now. I'm showing up differently. My life will always be messy. We just got to manage Larry. So yeah, if you have a dog, go hug it. If you've got cats, go hug them, because life is precious, life is short. And Mia did get to a ripe old age. She was 13, so she was getting to the end of her life. So that is also another thing I'm grateful for. So yeah, go hug your pets. Keep showing up, keep doing you. And yeah, I'll talk to you all in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.